Hey everybody, welcome to a fourth installment addressing the rumor epidemic in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I'm not using that word lightly because an epidemic is a disease, a plague, a thing that makes people sick and ruins lives. And that's what the rumor mill here does. And probably in some other areas too. So please take this knowledge however it applies while acknowledging that I'm talking about Minneapolis-Saint Paul. So my attention was called towards a native two-spirit neighbor who, unfortunately, rumors were spread about them. And this person also happened to do encampment work, which I'm really shocked that this has happened. That a rumor was spread about them. I don't remember what was said. But when they tried to address the rumor on their own, they got all these second, third, and fourth hand accounts, but no one ever came forward about the accusations. And that person was still shunned, even though nobody had any first-hand accounts of this rumor. Seemed like nobody even knew who the person that this happened to was. And that person still got shunned, even to the point where they had to leave town because they couldn't do their work here anymore because the community made the decision to shun them without any due process or evidence or any confirmation that this rumor had any truth to it. As far as I know, that's the side of the story that I got. It is painful to me that this even happens in the first place. First of all, this is terrible. And that the community made the decision to remove this person from spaces and isolate them from their work without any kind of evidence or like any accountability to the rumor or who was spreading it or whatever. Like sometimes things can get so far where you lose track of the source, and I get that. That happens a lot, especially when it comes to rumors. But when it comes to people doing the work and suffering, being ostracized basically by a ghost, the community let that happen, and there has to be accountability within the community for when we fuck up. And that is a huge fuck up. I'm shocked. I'm flabbergasted. It's like, what? We have to address what went wrong here. And what went wrong is that people don't care to address restorative justice, which is like the landmark of how these other things happen. Why are we so willing to isolate people that are out in the communities? Like, we have to start there. And even though this happens to everyone, I know a lot of people aren't about to like the language that I'm about to use, but like, I notice this really happens with AMAB folks. AMABs and trans men. And there's a correlation there that we can't deny. It's about men. And for some, it's about penis. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. So for myself in here, knowing that someone has sought out accountability and they still got hit with the riptide of rumors and isolation, the isolation that washed them ashore or drifted them out to sea, however you want to put that, the metaphor. That just makes me so entirely disappointed. And especially with this person being out there doing the work. And then putting that next to all of the people that I know of that are actually doing harm, where allegations have been confirmed, and they are not seeing nearly as much accountability like, I don't even know if I want to call isolation accountability, although if there's a time and place for all things, there's a time and place for that as well. But the point is that I'm seeing people who've actually done tangible harm with people that we can prove. We have the receipts, we have the first counts, we have access to talking to the person or people's affected in some capacity. And those people are still allowed to operate the same, while innocent people have been pushed all the way out to the point where they can't even be here anymore, because it's about the work, not about the place. And there's always going to be work to do, be it here or somewhere else. And I totally feel that. I don't blame that person or anyone else for getting out of here for any reason, but especially you got the boot because rumors were spread about you and nobody was interested in restorative justice or accountability. And we really can't go on like that. Like, what kind of community are we for real? Like, serious introspection on a personal and community level needs to happen, knowing that this has happened to someone. So I just wanted to address that by itself, because that is a travesty on every level. A Native American, a Two-Spirit, an elder, a community member, a person actively doing the work, in this case, encampment work. We're all doing the work to some degree. Like, by some means, just existing is the fight against fascism. But being all of that marginalized and being active during that time and this time is like, what has happened to our community for it to be acceptable to shun somebody over unconfirmed rumors? That is the question that needs to be asked here. What are we doing? That's the greater question. What are we doing? Then break down how we're doing it. Then break down how people are affected by it. And the what are we doing specifically is with this. This rumor mill must perish. And I'm going to leave this video there. I honestly didn't think this would turn into a series like this, but here we are. And of course, I'll have more to come as I get more information and more reflections.